And here we go. It is a Wednesday hump day here on Xtra 1360. And talking about getting over the hump, the Aztecs certainly have one to clear tomorrow night, or I should say afternoon, as they take on UNLV on their home court. It is their opening round of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Tip-off 2:30 right here on Xtra 1360. And head coach Brian Dutcher on the line with us. First of all, Dutch, thank you so much for jumping on with us. I know it's a busy time out there in Vegas for you guys. But first and foremost, it was a long road getting here. How do you feel finally on the ground in Vegas, ready to take on your first opponent?
I think we're ready to go. I wish we were at 100% health, but everyone will be available. But everyone's a little banged up this time of the year. Looks like we'll have everybody available to play, and we will go out there and represent San Diego State and ourselves very proudly.
Coach, sometimes adversity going into a tournament is a good thing for your team. It kind of rallies the troops, gets them fired up, points out the things that they don't want to do. How much have you used from these last couple of games to say, all right, we know how it can go wrong. Let's correct things and look back to games like against Nevada at Viejas, et cetera?
Absolutely. We've had great moments, and then we've had some moments that are a little down. But at the end of the day, we've beaten Nevada. We've beaten Utah State, the two teams that finished first place in the conference. And we know UNLV is playing better, but we're confident that we can go in there and if we play well, have a chance to come out of there with an NCAA tournament bid. And that's what we have to believe. If we don't believe that, we shouldn't be going.
I love the sports information department at your school. San Diego State does such an incredible job. How about this one? New Year's Day 2013. Since then, the Aztecs are 15-6 at Thomas and Mack against UNLV. So how so good against this team on their home floor?
Sometimes it's just the way matchups work out. I remember not so many years ago that we would beat UNLV. BYU could not beat UNLV, and we couldn't beat BYU. So sometimes it's just that triangle of matchups. And right now, we've seemed to play really good basketball against UNLV. Why? I don't exactly know. We always play hard defensively, and we've had great success in there. So hopefully that continues tomorrow.
Coach, a year can be a long time, but when you need to hearken back to that period of time, it can seem like it was yesterday. So you were here you were here 1 year ago in almost exactly similar situation. So how much of that do you say, hey, guys, we've done this before? And then how much of that do you say, all right, this feels similar. We need to draw from that to, win this tournament and then get into the big dance?
We have three starters back from that tournament team that won it last year. We have Devin Watson, Matt Mitchell, and Jalen McDaniels. Granted, they're all in different roles. We have Jeremy Hemsley starting now, but he played a prominent role off the bench last year. So we have guys that have been through that process, been in those games. The question is now, can we get the freshmen up to speed and keep those veterans playing at a high level for 3 days? And that's what the goal is, and that's what we've been working to do over the last 2 or 3 days of practice to make sure we're at our best when your best is required.
This is going to sound absurd, but I kind of like the 4th and 5th seed area on the matchup chart here because of the way this tournament is structured. You guys will get to sit down and watch Nevada take on the winner of Boise State, Colorado State tonight. They're going to play against the winner of that matchup tomorrow at 12 p.m. You guys take the court at 2:30. So you get to see up close, in person, your opponent, your next opponent, if you win your game against UNLV on the court. Don't you feel like that's, from a gamesmanship standpoint, that's a little bit of an advantage to see exactly what a team's doing live in living color from courtside seats?
Absolutely. We will scout the heck out of that game. And the thing I liked about the 4-5 game is that it's a 2:30 in the afternoon game.
Right.
If we're the 3 seed, even though we wanted to finish third desperately, you're playing an 8:30 game at night. And then your transition, your turnaround is much faster. You're not back to the hotel much before 11:30, and all of a sudden you've got to play the next afternoon. So I like the 2:30 slot if we're fortunate enough to come out with a win in order to prep for the next day.
We're talking to head coach Brian Dutcher. The Aztecs are taking on UNLV. 2:30 tip-off tomorrow. That'll be right here on Xtra 1360, 2 o'clock pregame. We're cutting out early. We're going to give this plenty of room here. This is a big one for you guys. Nathan Mensah, Devin Watson off the court throughout a good portion of this week. Are they going to be ready to go?
I think both will be ready. Now, they're not going to be 100%, but nobody is this time of the year. So Sergio's done a great job getting the rehab going, get them feeling as good as they can feel, and they will be out there and available to us.
Coach, as you just mentioned, being at your best when your best is needed, that's obviously a situation right now that is imperative to moving on, so-called win or go home, back against the wall. When there's no way out, do you get a different level of focus from your players?
Yeah, and it's pressure. I mean, obviously it's pressure. If you lose, the season's over. But I like that kind of pressure. That's the kind we've always had at San Diego State, that we've played in this game more than anybody. We've made it to the championship more than anybody, and we've got more conference titles than anybody in the league. So it's moments like that this program's built for. And so hopefully these guys are ready for that moment and that we make a major step forward here in the conference tournament down the stretch of the season.
Again, talking to head coach Brian Dutcher on Xtra 1360. Jalen McDaniels, look, he's been a star for this team. He got second team All Mountain West this season alongside Devin Watson. And a shout out to Jeremy Hemsley for what he's done on the defensive side of the ball. All defense team in the Mountain West. But Jalen McDaniels, look, there's going to be progress every season. Is there a chance that he sticks around for another year and continues to hone his craft at the college level?
I think the NBA will decide that. When the season's over, when it finally ends for us, Jalen will have opportunities to explore what they feel about him and what they feel his status is. And sometimes, even though he may not be a ready product now, they may say, hey, if we have him at this level, we project him in 2 years to be ready. So that's decisions he and his family will have to make, with obviously me giving my input, and hopefully that's a long way off. Hopefully we're talking about Aztec basketball continuing to play over the next couple of weeks. So when the season ends, Jalen will have a chance to sit down and evaluate his future.
Yeah. Hopefully we're talking about maybe 9 games from here and you guys are hoisting a national championship trophy. But I won't count those chickens before they hatch. I know you certainly won't either. Jeremy Hemsley, last one from us here, Coach, and then we'll get you running. He says that having the experience of being the 4th or the 5th seed going into the tournament is something he turns to as being a great positive for this team. You obviously have seniors out there, himself and Watson, who've seen it all, done it all. How important is that for a victory and potentially championship here in Vegas?
It's the position we're most familiar with. Last year, Fresno had beat us twice. We were the 5 seed, and we played them in the first round in the 4-5 game. And so obviously we got by that game. Then we had an excellent game against Nevada and a really close game against New Mexico. So we've played from this position a year ago, so it's a game we're used to. It's a slot we're used to, and so now we have to make the best of it.
Well, we're certainly all rooting for you here. We'll be listening, we'll be watching, and congratulations on another wonderful season, and best of luck in the tournament.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.